In this video, we're going to take a look at the 2 stretch goals from the first 2 Kickstarter campaigns from 1985 games. Let's check them out. Okay, this is the first stretch goal, and has a wizard's tower. It looks like the roof of the tower, and there's like a walkway to a smaller building. And on the inside, you've got the inside with a magic circle. You've got the doors. Here's the inside. Now this is a 5-story wizard's tower, so you've got a bunch of different levels, and you can use them pretty much in any order you want. Spell effects, a block, more spell effects, wagon, smaller spell effects, fountain. And here's the interior of the same wagon, more spell effects. And you have the interior of some crypts, an altar, a bear tree, and a wagon here, more fountains. And on the other side, you have the exterior of the crypts, the altar with things on it. The tree now has foliage. The interior of the wagon, a different colored liquid in the fountain. You also have some... you have gargoyle and some ghosts, and you have tombstones, fallen gate. Now the tombstones on this side are just regular clean stone, and when you flip them over, they're more of a mossy, they got moss on them. And then the ghosts also have different colors, and now the trees have foliage. Now for the ghosts, that means you can have more than one of the same type, but you can mix up the colors so you can differentiate. Vines, house on fire. These are pretty much like the houses in the very first Dungeon Craft set, but this time they're on fire. And here's like the roof. Here's an interior. You flip it over here and you get the interior, the bigger one, exterior here. These are now more like a tentacle vine. More buildings on fire, some blocks, spell effects. The other side of spell effects, more fire. Here's a building that has pretty much all collapsed. It's totally dilapidated, so here's the interior. And here's the roof caved in, exterior over here. More fire. Larger building here with the interior and everything's collapsed in. Here's some vines, some thorny vines that you can put together to make a wall of vines. Here's more spell effects. Here's the exterior of that same building from the roof. Larger building with also a collapsed roof. Interior, here's some ridges. You put them together, make one long ridge. You could also like lay them on top of each other in a curve. Roof and roof here. The interiors, more roof collapsed buildings, some pillars or columns, spell effects, more spell effects here. And this is the other side of those. So that's the first one. Now the second one, you've got a Baba Yaga setup. Here's like the interior of her hut. You can see the feet that it's supported on. Here's her herself. Turn it over, here's the roof. Different versions of her. You've got like war elephants or oiliphants if you're looking at Lord of the Rings. And with this, you have like the covering. It's like this is the roof of where the rider sits. Here's some tigers. And then on the flip side, you have the interior of where the riders sit, and the tigers are now white. So now you have same thing here, except you have bears. So you have black bear on this side, brown bear / grizzly on this side. Again, more interiors. A tent, the interior of a smaller tent. Here's the interior of the other tent with cages. Smaller tent. Okay, so you have a large tent here. And here's the interior. You get a couple of those. And then, of course, you have some smaller tents here. Rhino, lion. Kind of looks like, I guess, in D&D it'd be considered an axe beak. Here's the other side, so everything's just kind of a different color. Here's the interior of those smaller tents. And this is where you can get this is where you have a lot of character figures and creature figures. And you'll notice, for instance, it looks like dwarves or halfling, definitely dwarf here. But when you flip them over, they also have different color garb. So again, if you have more than one of the same character, you can differentiate using the colors. Here's some, looks like some forges, some blacksmith tables, things being forged here, grinding wheel, barrels. And on the other side, just the tables that are empty, nothing glowing on there. The forge is cold, and the barrels are uncapped. Here you have some kind of war wagons using skeletons of creatures. And you have like scarecrows here. It looks like you have some pots full of vegetables. Flip it over. Now the scarecrows are alive. Here you have more farm type setup. You've got some hay, cows, pigs, sheep. And then again, just different coloration so you can have multiple animals in the pen. More hay, more scarecrows, another war elephant. Here's a building, rooftop. Here's the interior of the writer's area. Very large rooftop here. Here's the interior. So this is like a barn setup. Then here you have like looks like some kind of a war drum and some skeleton altar, or I should say an altar with skeletons on it. Another altar setup, more primitive altar. So this side you've got blood covering it, and the skull, and this side no blood. I know there's blood on these. Also here you've got this interior, like a necromancer's lair. So you have the interior, and he's got all his stuff to raise the dead, and here's the dead. And then on this side, it's minus the magic circle. And there you go, just a quick video to show you those two Kickstarter stretch goals. Let me know what you think. I'll put sources down in the comments below. And until next time, may you always roll with advantage.